Forbidden fruit on apple juice, can I sip on the cup? Mix it with some 1942 and I'm hitting you up. Girl, you chosen, fuck it up when you bust wide open. It's the ocean, I'm just imposing that you give it to me and just me only, yeah.
Alright, we are rolling. Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. I have two special guests today. We have Bailey and Val. Actually, three special guests. We have King as well. So earlier today I posted on my IG stories asking you guys to ask me any dance related questions. So anything about Casey Choreo, about dancing for a pro team, my experience, my opinion on things, tips and tricks, and I figured instead of me just getting in front of a camera, King's making love to my friends right now. Instead of just me getting in front of the camera, that it would be fun to include Bailey and Val, and we had already planned to have a little girls' night tonight and use the new Casey Choreo home studios. So anyways, we're here. Maybe give a little bit of an introduction. Let the people know who you are.
I don't know yet. I'm just here.
It's my third day on the job. No.
I've been dancing since I was like 3. That's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what your dance background is.
I was a studio dancer. I was a competitive dancer for like 9 years. And then, well, I was a studio dancer for longer than that. I was a competitive dancer for 9 years. And then I danced on my high school drill team, and I danced on my college drill team.
I'm so sorry. King, okay.
I danced for the big 3.
So, the big 3, high school, Cougar Dolls, all that good stuff.
Hi. Just trying to get the nails in.
Yeah. The nails? Yeah.
These two got matching nails. It's a thing.
It's cute. Whatever. I'm from Venezuela, that's why I have like crooked English, just FYI. Yeah. And my dance background, I started dancing when I was like, I always like watched TV and like trying to learn the choreos from the TV, but I actually got to the studio when I was 13. And then my background is in hip hop, so I'm more like a tomboy. Like these girls are like technique, ballet, so pretty, and I'm like the tomboy of the group.
Technique, ballet, so pretty. She is. She's like the hip hop crumper.
Correct. Exactly. Like I've been a backup dancer for like Hispanic artists because I used to live in Miami, and that's all that you do there basically. Yes. And then here.
Amazing. So as you guys probably know, but my dance background, I've been dancing since, well, I've always loved to dance, but to be completely and utterly honest, my mom could never afford to actually put me in dance classes. So I didn't really start dancing until sophomore year of high school, and just honestly picked it up so easily. I became the captain of my high school drill team, and then from there went straight into the Rockets, became the captain of the Rockets my 3rd year, so did 3 seasons with the Rockets, and then ever since I've just been teaching. I did dance for Daleks once. That was fucking phenomenal, so much fun. And I danced for J Balvin during a halftime show at a Rockets game. A lot of people don't know that, but that was really fun too. So anyways, that's my dance background. Let's go ahead and jump into these questions that you guys put on our stories. So I guess we already answered one. What is your dance experience? So we all kind of went around and talked about our dance experience. So that was one. I'm trying to start us off with like a kind of juicy one. Ooh. Whose tour would you drop everything to dance in?
Beyonce.
Wait,
I'm so sorry.
Wait.
Yes, I was literally
gonna say that, but I was gonna say it with the Beyonce, you know, at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So I think Beyonce, like
100%.
my childhood artists, Beyonce, J-Lo, Chris Brown, and
Usher?
Usher, yes, but no,
Usher.
Beyonce,
Britney.
J-Lo. Britney, yes, yes.
But Britney hires only, well, for the longest, only had male dancers, which like hurt my soul.
True.
Yeah.
But like I believe when she tours again, it will be more diverse. Keep us in the background.
Yeah, we're putting that out in the world.
Manifesting.
We're manifesting that Britney
Manifesting,
Spears is gonna pick us to be her next backup
This is
dancer.
the year to come back for Britney.
Yes.
And we'll be there for it.
Hashtag free Britney.
For Britney.
Okay. What about you? Same artist? Anyone
For
different?
sure, Beyonce came to mind first. For sure, Britney. Maybe Pussycat Dolls, just because they're like.
I was literally gonna say. Aside from that, like have always wanted to be a PCD.
That's my dream. I swear, it's my
we need to start our own Pussycat
doll thing
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Who's gonna sing?
I'm down. But yeah, for me, like
Me, because I want to create a hot single one day. Does anyone want to sign me? Okay.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Would you like to dance for an artist in the future or focus more on being a choreographer?
So obviously, like, being a choreographer, I think I love that part, and I feel like I've kind of built a community here that I would never want to give up. So 100% that, but I would love to possibly like take a little time off to go dance for an artist. I think that would be really cool, like if I did a couple months tour. But I mean, let's be real, like, I don't know, the opportunities aren't really, they're far and few here in Houston for Houston dancers. So like the Daleks tour that I booked was literally like a day. It was a couple hours. So wish it could have been more and wish it could have been longer because it was so much fun. But yeah, choreographer for sure. Would y'all rather teach or be a backup dancer?
I mean, if the opportunity came along to be a backup dancer and like tour, you drop everything and go, because the opportunity is so few and far between. I think that whatever you build will always be there for you, because I think the dance community would be understanding of you like having to go live out that dream and knowing that it's only like a temporary thing to come back to.
Yeah,
true.
I agree.
What about you?
Yeah, I would rather be a backup dancer also because I feel like I love performing so much.
Right, yeah. I was gonna say
adrenaline and just like the feeling that you get whenever you're performing like in such a huge crowd, it's just like uncomparable to me. So I feel like
I love performing and I miss that, I think, obviously more than anything, but I feel like I'm at the stage in my life where I genuinely like helping other people, and I feel like, not that like y'all don't, right? Because y'all want to be performers, but I think I've just like built this love over the past like years of teaching that really I find joy. I used to find joy in performing, whereas like now I find joy in helping other people reach their dance goals and just feel confident and just feel good in their skin. And like, I don't know, that's kind of like where my mind has shifted over like having Casey choreo. So I love performing and I miss that. But it's like my love for the other side of like being a mentor almost. I feel like everyone that comes to my class is like really like taken overpower. So. And
I also feel like you have been like, you were a performer for a long time. So I feel like this choreographer life now is more like, you know, it's something new. Not
for sure.
Like new, but like
I mean, it is. Yeah. Like I've only been teaching for 4 years. So it's like I've been doing it for like 10 years, you know? So anyways.
I feel like that, like being past that part of your life, like knowing like I've done as much performing as like, not saying that you wouldn't be on board for another performance if it came along, but knowing like you've had your fill of it and you're ready to start like giving back is a really good sign, like moving forward with your choreography more so.
Like I miss it, but I'm not like sad, you know what I mean? Correct. Like I would never audition for a pro dance team ever again. Like past that point in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Do you ever blank on a choreo during a performance?
Ooh. Why haven't I ever asked you this, honestly?
Did you ever? So, yes, 1000%. But the biggest like blank out that I had at a game was probably the worst. Everyone literally went down. Like everyone was up and like dropped down to the ground, and I stayed up. So it was almost like a solo moment for me. But that was
it though, or were you like,
yeah,
it wasn't like a fun
definitely not.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I honestly don't know if I messed up or not. I got whiplash on court and literally blacked out. When I tell you black out, like I can literally play back the memory in my head. I couldn't see anything. Like I wasn't looking. I don't know what my body was doing. Like muscle memory had to have kicked in because like I was moving and I don't know what was happening. And then probably a hot like 15 seconds later, like I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe like I would say maybe 10 seconds later, I kind of came back to, and I was like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Like literally, what just happened?
That's scary.
And then the dance was over, and I was like, "Well, if I messed up, I'll get yelled at, and if I didn't mess up, then shit, I made it." Like I don't know, but those are probably the 2 biggest mess ups in terms of like my performance career.
This is what I'm famous for.
You're like, I have too many stories.
I have too many. Like I am. No, I was gonna say I'm the James Harden, but I'm not sure if I want to like throw him under the bus like that. Like big performances, I don't know. If anyone has advice for this, I would love it. This is my bread and butter. I love making everybody feel like I'm about to go kill it, and then I'm a blank every time. Every time.
What about you?
Do I have Alzheimer's? Is it a memory problem?
Alzheimer's.
I don't know.
Maybe you're just so traumatized that your memory is like, no, like your mind is just like, that didn't happen.
I feel like the more full out, I feel like I almost like knock the memory of the dance out of my head. Like when I get going,
You're like, I'm gonna go so hard that I'm just not gonna remember it.
What you were talking about with the whiplash thing, it's like when you really are going full out,
Oh, yeah.
I get like lost in
Yeah.
it sometimes, and I'm like, wait.
Especially
Yeah.
with the lights and everything that's
Yeah.
going on whenever you're
Am I
performing.
facing the right
It's
direction?
just like-
I don't
yeah. Or
Yeah.
just like, you know, you sometimes you look around like, am I doing the same thing? Like, am I on page with everyone else? Yeah.
I will definitely say, like, dancing for the Rockets and having all of that pressure for 3 years and almost like 60 games a season, it builds a different type of like backbone. So like, I don't know. It's just, and even sometimes like Casey Choreo, like I'll have my like mess ups here and there, but it's very far and few. And even then, I just like feel like I'm so used to it now that I just kind of play it off, especially if I'm by myself. If I'm dancing with like one of y'all, then I might stop the music and be like, all right, let's do it again. But very far and few, because I feel like it just builds this backbone of like, when you're in that moment, it's like go time.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And it's almost this like anxiety that like I used to have on the team, where if you messed up, you weren't in the game the next game. Like you weren't in it. And so it was just like this, like such pressure. Like I'm telling you, I can literally count, like the only mess ups I can remember after 3 years are 2. And I'm probably off. Like I could probably count on one hand. I just can't remember it. But like that's 3 years. And I can literally tell you on one hand, I've like very rarely messed up, because it's just like so much practice, so much like going it over and over and over and over and over again. And then the pressure, like you just go out there and you're like, it's like, die or fucking get it right. Like there's no in between. There's literally no in between. So I just feel like you don't get that same challenge and pressure when you go to classes. You almost have to like put it on yourself almost.
Yes, 100%.
But only if you want to, you know, like there are people that come to class just to have fun, and that's totally okay. But I mean, if you're trying to like build your performance up, then 1000% you need to put that pressure on yourself, because there's literally no other way that you'll learn. It's all a focus thing. It's all like in your mindset that when it's time to go and perform, like there's nothing. Like literally it's like, this is my life on the line. This is my job. It's go time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, I feel like that's almost kind of how like performers feel behind artists. Like if you mess up, that could possibly be your spot given to someone else.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just this pressure that I feel like in class we don't really get. But like being a performer is like the best way to like get that training, you know?
I miss that pressure, because I feel like that is
1000%.
such a good training tool. And if you can't put yourself there mentally, like it's hard.
Oh, it's so
to
hard.
find another.
It's hard to like
challenge like that.
Yeah, and it's hard to train your mind whenever you're not thrown into like, what is it? Thrown into the dust? No. Thrown into the whatever, the fire. Thrown into the fire.
I was like, I don't know where you're going with this. Yeah.
It's hard to train that.
You
But
literally have to be like fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be.
But I think that's why like whenever I did the heels intensive, like I was honestly craving that challenge again.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not the same, but I still feel like the intensives kind of do put a little bit more pressure on you, because you're like, all right, this is a group effort. Like I don't want to be the one to like F it up, you know? So I don't know.
Especially like whenever you have a videographer in front of you, like, you just gotta perform to the camera. Even if you're not performing to like 100 people, you're still performing to the camera, guys. So it's just like, okay, I better not fuck it up.
Yeah, but like I feel like too, being a performer and like dance, and I mean like you kind of had this too with University of Houston. I mean the crowd wasn't probably as big as like an NBA stadium, but it's like you still have that experience of like being able to block out the noise. Like I feel like I'm so good at that, dude. Like when I'm like
all the noise except for your coach's voice.
Well, yes,
at all times. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
That's the only thing going on in the back of your mind is like your coach
is
just like right there. You're like, but like I'm so good at that, and that's like why whenever it's time for me to perform like in Casey Choreo, I kind of just like I don't know who's saying what or who's doing what or what's happening behind like Mark or whoever's filming. It's just like boom, you know?
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Here. You have to get tunnel vision for sure. Like,
yeah, 1000%.
You can't let anything outside shake you.
Tips on how to start back up in dance after a long 7-year break.
Just go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just have to do it. Like, start showing up in class and know that that's a safe space and that everybody's there to learn. Like, don't get too in your head about it, because like every single person is there showing up that day to learn something new. Like, and all of them are focused on themselves as well. So don't feel like
Yeah.
everyone's there watching you. Like they're trying to get better for themselves as well. So
Yeah.
like take some of the pressure off yourself and just go for it. And remember like why you started. Remember your love for it. Remember that you love to have fun with it, and that's why you're doing it.
Even if you feel like you didn't do well on class, you still got the moment, you know, like there's an amazing energy in class. Like everyone is just there for the same reasons, like Bailey just said. Everyone is there to have fun, to get better, and just like have a good time doing what you love the most. So it's just like, even if you don't perform the way you wanted to, you still have that, you know, you still like build a community, get to meet new friends. Like, I mean, I met you guys in class and now we're like best friends, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get out of it. So just like go for it and just remember why you're doing it, just for you, not for everyone else.
Exactly what they said. Everything.
Retweet.
Retweet, all the things. But yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, it's just like falling out of love with the gym. Like the only way to get back in the gym is to literally just go. And like a group class setting is the best way to go. I mean, it's a little bit different than you walking into a gym and being like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, what do I use? Blah, blah, blah. Like you're walking into a space where there's so many other people, everyone's cheering each other on, and you literally get to go and not think about anything because the choreographer is the one teaching you what you're doing. So it's such a stress relieving moment, I feel like, to like go and not have to think about anything else, and you're a part of just like something bigger and community. And I don't know, I just feel like with anything in life, you have a break with something, it's like you just have to kind of dive right back into it and trust that like you'll be okay. It's okay. I can't tell you how many messages I get of like, I'm so scared to come to your class, and I'm like,
Why?
But why? But like, I get it. I've been there and I've done that. Like, there's so many times where I've been scared to go to like Soundbox and So Real, and like, it's like intimidating seeing those dancers, and they're so good, and I'm like, but I'm not. But I don't know. I just feel like you just have to kind of swallow that and like just go. To have fun.
Everybody brings something different to the table. Just because you don't dance like they do doesn't mean that you're not a good dancer.
Yeah.
Also,
everyone has their own thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Their own style. And
if you get like so in your head about it, and then you're like, I just can't, like you're like totally shut down, just like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, honestly.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start their own choreo company?
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. I've been wanting to like talk more about business things, so let me know if you guys want to know more like business related, like brand, how to build a brand type of situation. But I will say the biggest thing is like you kind of have to put the work in to get your name out there, and it starts with just starting. I mean, like, hello, this is like, I feel like business advice 101, like don't fear, just go and jump into it. So, I mean, anyone that's ever asked me, like, what do I want to do or how do I get into teaching a class, or how do I get into teaching choreography? I'm like, just do it. Like, just start putting out your content, start choreographing, start putting up videos. Like, you have to get people to see your work and to be interested and intrigued in who you are. I feel like whenever I kind of came into the choreography game, I already had a little bit of background with people. Like, people knew who I was because of the Rockets, and they saw me dance. They saw what I was capable of. They saw my skill set, right? So it's all about selling yourself. And then at the end of the day, it's like my energy, my personality, like who are you? You have to sell that to people, and then it just kind of like brings more people in. And then, I mean, I could go on, honestly. Then it's like marketing is the next thing, advertising, like how are you advertising yourself? I feel like I run my brand a lot differently because I run it like a brand. I'm not just like, oh, I'm a choreographer in Houston. And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that at all. Like if you just literally want to teach dance because you love to teach dance, like that's totally fine. I think for me, being very like business mindset, my mind goes in like 100 other different directions. And I'm like, how can I build this into a community versus like, oh, just Casey Cardenas, who's like the choreographer. And I feel like that's kind of a testament to what I've built over the past years and why like I have what I have. It's just like the way I've positioned things to my audience if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
So you would go content, then marketing?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you need to be...
for a friend.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
I mean, like 1000%, you need to put your content out there. You can say, oh, I want to be a choreographer, but people are going to be like, okay, well, like,
So
what
what
is
are you
your
about?
work?
Yeah.
Like, what is your work? So, and I mean, it all starts with like having a platform, right? So like either you're utilizing your social media, or maybe you're finding another studio to work for and you're getting your name out that way. And then one day building your own brand. Like it depends on what your goal is too. Again, are you looking to build a brand? Or are you looking to just be a choreographer? Because those are two completely different things.
Yeah.
True.
Two completely different things.
And I was gonna say, like, whenever, like, of course, like, I don't own a run or anything like that, but whenever I wanted to start teaching here in Houston, because I used to teach in Miami, but I wanted to get my name out here, the first thing that, like, of course, I asked for advice to Casey. I'm like, what do you think I should do? Amazing. What do you think I should do? And she's like, just get your choreo out there. Like, if you didn't come up to me right now and say I'm a choreographer, like, I wouldn't know, because I see your Instagram and I don't, like, the only thing I see is my choreo, not your choreo. So that got me thinking, like, the people that know me through her classes know that I'm a good dancer, or just like I do well in her classes, but they don't know that I can actually build a choreography. So that was the advice that got me posting my Latin music and just like my Latin choreos, because I was just like, I don't know, just go for it. Like, if I want to, like you said, if you want to start, you just gotta do it. So
yeah,
your goal is.
That's been my favorite question so far, I think.
Yeah, it's such a lofty situation, but I think to simplify it all, if you want to be a choreographer, put your work out there. Like, people have to know that you can create choreography to be able to come take a class and learn from you. And that's just that.
Period.
So, and then the rest is like, there's more, but yeah.
The rest is like
there's more, but
so
step one is just get your choreography out there and let people know that you can choreograph. I feel like, did I answer that pretty well though?
You did. You did.
Like, if there's anything I can add, I don't really know what it would be.
I would love to pick your brain about this. You have a lot of good advice. Like, I think your brand is very unique in that way, that you have the business background.
Yeah.
So
well,
I think
I don't know what else. Because the question was just like how to become a choreographer.
Yeah, not how to build a brand.
Correct.
Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, building a brand is just like another. That's another conversation for another day. I mean.
But I mean, like, that's a good point though, because I don't know, like, someone just getting started might not see the difference. They might be super intimidated by the thought of like they have to be all these things at once.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, that I think, like, just slow, steady steps. I feel like so many people are like so eager to just like
rush through
boom,
things.
jump in and like be this like well-known thing, and it's like, dude, that shit takes time.
Yeah.
Like, I've been teaching for 4 years, but Casey Choreo, like my brand, we're celebrating 3 years this month. And that's, I mean, like, I've built a good amount.
I'm like, yay, I wanted to clap, but my hands, I'm like, yay, that was so good.
I feel like my brand has grown a lot in 3 years, but even then I'm like, there's so much more that I want to do, and I want to expand the brand with and like reach more people. I want this to be a huge network. I'm like, you just can't rush that process. And I feel like so many people are like, they want to be a choreographer and they want to do it tomorrow. And it's like how long has it been since you and I had that conversation? A year. It was the last.
Been a year.
It's literally been a year.
Yeah, it was literally on the Casey Choreo anniversary last year.
Yeah, since Val and I had a conversation about how to kind of get her up and running, and now a year later, we just had our first collab class together.
Started from the bottom that year.
And she's having another one on the 23rd because I come back from out of town that week. So I'm just like, timing is everything, and just like, you know, just be patient, put in the work, don't expect handouts, and yeah, that's my best advice right now.
And best advice for those that struggle with freestyle.
Freestyle, okay, freestyle.
Okay, to me, I'm gonna tell you what I tell or say. Tell to myself all the time.
Say. Sorry.
No, say. Okay.
What's the question? What's the context?
I need the context.
I'm sorry, English. Okay, so I'm gonna say the same thing that I say to myself all the time. Fake it till you make it. Envision yourself as the dancer that you want to be. Picture the way that you want to look, and then just do it. Just go for it. You know, like, don't get too into your head and just like do whatever feels natural and be confident of what you can show off. Just fake it till you make it. Just pretend that you are the greatest dancer in the world, and there's no one that can do what you do or like perform the way you do. So just like go for it. Like that's my thing.
What she said.
What she said, and just like knowing like what she said, knowing what looks good on you, and like falling back on that, and just like, or if it's too hard for you, like I know sometimes I get out there and I'm like, about to get real weird, and so it's like I have like moves that I fall back on, or that I'm like, okay, have I gone to the floor yet? Like, have I done a turn yet? Stuff like that.
Definitely having moves
Like
in
a
your
checklist.
bank. To like if you have a moment where you just kind of black out, because I mean, let's be real, we all have those moments.
Yeah.
Or like I know,
action.
yeah, I know this is kind of like people tell you not to choreograph before, like especially for my people that are probably auditioning for pro dance teams, they tell you not to choreograph your freestyle, but I'm kind of against that. I feel like definitely go in with at least 1 or 2 8 counts in your bank to bust out. If you're like throwing around your hair and you're like, okay, I've done 25 hair whips, we've got to do something else.
Yeah.
Like just having that to bust out whenever you're just lost, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, freestyle for me is just all about, I don't know, just having fun and not worrying about it and getting out of your head and just kind of seeing what flows and like just what comes out of your body.
Yeah, and I feel like also freestyle is like the best feedback that you can get from like for yourself, like what looks good on yourself and what doesn't, and you just learn from it. So you just gotta go for it.
I was gonna say the best. I remember it came to me.
And then you asked
Okay,
that
so
one,
like
I don't remember what it is.
if you don't understand like the pressure that you're going to be under if you are auditioning, or if you're in class and then you're asked to freestyle on the spot, it's like hard to put yourself through that pressure again, like we talked about earlier. The best way to like fight through that is to practice. Like just put on a song and be like, I'm gonna do this for 2 8 counts.
Yeah.
And do that until you feel confident about, okay, this hip move looks good on me, this looks good on me, and then save those. Like she was talking about, work up a bank that you know that you can fall
Moves
back.
that look good on you. Don't bust out with a triple if you don't know how to do a triple.
Don't do shit you can't
Don't do stuff
That's
you can't
not the
do.
time.
Your
You're risking.
freestyle is supposed
Yeah.
to showcase what you're good at.
Right.
So figure out what you're good at and then showcase that through your freestyle.
And even if you don't have like a hardcore like 2 8 counts, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, like you have a rough idea. So if you get out there, they're muscle memory. If your brain freezes, at least your body is still moving.
Also, I'm just gonna say like if you're going
Also,
if you're going through auditions, like one person gave me this advice whenever I was auditioning for the Miami Heat dancers, and she said like make the judges think that they cannot say no to you, like they need you on their team, and that comes from building like the confidence, and confidence is gonna come knowing what looks good on you and what doesn't, and just like trying to go for it, like risk it. You cannot think like, okay,
I'm not gonna do this move because I'm scared of what I'm
correct.
gonna look
You
like.
just gotta risk it and go for it and be confident that you are going to perform to your best abilities.
also just like keep fighting through it.
I keep reaching.
Just like keep fighting through it. If you're like, oh, that was a weird moment there. Hey, just
We all have weird moments.
we all have weird moments. Just keep going. Like there's something to be said for the fight as well. So like just keep going. Like don't get in your head during the process. Like just go for it.
Did you wait? Okay. Did you experience
You gotta believe.
Okay, did you experience harassment from the players?
So I feel like I always get this question about dancing on the Rockets, and the answer is no. We were not allowed to talk to the players whatsoever, or you can lose your job. You will get fired. I know that there's other NBA teams, and I've talked to girls on other NBA teams, just having friends that have danced for other teams, that say otherwise. So it's definitely not like across the board. I mean, there are NBA dance teams where they do go out with the players and hang out and whatever. But for the Rockets, that was like a huge no-no. So the only time that I ever really came into interaction with them was at appearances. I never our practices weren't in the same arena. Like literally we were never in the same place at the same time except for at appearances. So the only interaction that I have, and literally the only, was at an appearance. It was at the Toyota Center, and I kid you not, I was literally standing there, RPD form, smile, and Dwight Howard, James Harden, 3 other players, I don't know. And at this point, they know they're not allowed to talk to us too, so they just honestly do it just to be
Mess up with you.
yeah, just to mess with the girls. And so I was at the appearance standing there like this, and they just come literally like a semicircle, stand right around me. And I don't even honestly know what they were saying because I'm not even, shit you not, I was literally looking like not over them because they're too fucking tall for that, but like through them. And I was just like this, like mumbling under my breath. Oh my God, please stop, please. Like literally I was like, I'm not, like, we're not giving them any attention. I'm not losing my job over this. Like, it's not worth it to me. So anyways, that was the only time that I ever came across them, but I have heard stories, literally.
Yeah.
And then there was just a couple more that I wanted to answer. So someone said, I want to come to your class so bad, but I can't do my splits. How do I still learn the choreo? So you definitely don't, I don't even know that we have our splits.
Questionable.
You definitely don't have to know how to do your splits to come to class. And I will just say a little trick, wear some sweatpants because no one will be able to see
Close that gap between
your
floor
crotch
you.
and the floor. Yeah. So if I know there's a split in the dance, I'm wearing sweatpants just in case like the hamstrings don't want to pull it out.
It just depends on the day. Also,
On the
there's
day.
there's
Yeah.
a lot to be said for adrenaline. You're like, I don't know about this split. When the moment comes, there it is. You have that
There it
split.
is,
You
yeah.
never know. Your body might pull it out. Will you regret it the next day?
Maybe.
Yes.
Possibly.
100%.
1000% actually.
But it's gonna be there for you in that moment.
Yeah.
Or you know, it won't. But we move fast. You hit it and you roll. It's good.
Yeah.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving.
Fake it till you make it.
Right.
You know?
Fake
There
it
it
till
is.
you make it. Do you have to do skills and tricks to stand out at auditions?
I don't think so.
I mean, I would say like it's a big plus because they like to see things, and I feel like there are not a lot of dancers that go through auditions that have those abilities.
Okay.
Abilities or those skills. Like whenever I go to auditions, I always feel like intimidated by those dancers that have more like technique background. When I'm a tomboy, like all I do is perform like super hard, like super full out all the time. And sometimes I just want to see like those high kicks, the triple pirouette that Bailey can do. So pretty.
Some days. Some days.
Yeah, but I would say like it's not a necessity. Like
Yeah.
it's not
I
a.
think we're
I
more
feel like
talking
it's not
about,
a
like-
requirement. Like you can definitely go through the audition process without having those
100%.
And
skills
still make it.
and
Yeah.
still make it. It's just again, it's just the way you perform and the energy that you're gonna give to the judges. I feel like at the end of the day, that's what matters
Yeah.
the most.
It also depends on the team that you're auditioning for. Like, definitely read the team requirements. They have them posted. Whenever they start posting about auditions, they'll have it on their website. They'll have it on their flyers. And if there's something that they have, like, hardcore, like, we're not taking anybody without this skill, then definitely pay attention to that. But as far as, like, tumbling and things like that, I don't think it's a necessity. Will it help you
If you know
stand
how to do
out,
it,
maybe?
do it. But if you don't know how to do it, don't do it.
Remember, that's not the time to try something new.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
auditions is never the time to try something new. Do what you know you're comfortable with, and if you don't know what you're comfortable with, practice before you get there. Which I feel like we already kind of talked about this. Do you have any more Rockets picks, and how did that experience help you professionally? But I feel like we kind of talked about that before whenever we were talking about like performing and stuff. Like I feel like I just have such a strong backbone now when it comes to performing and like messing up or making mistakes or how to come back from making mistakes. Like that experience of just being under that pressure, I feel like I'll always have that to bring with me wherever my dance career leads me. And that's probably one of the, I mean, obviously just like discipline and how to be professional. Like I learned all that being an ambassador for an NBA dance team.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I think just like you don't get that challenge anywhere else, or at least not dancing on a team or dancing for an artist. So that pressure of like just
The performance being your job.
yeah, that pressure of like literally it's go time. I'll always carry that with me moving
Yeah.
forward. Anytime a camera's in front of me, it's just like it's just
time.
something that kind of
Yeah.
like snaps. But it's because I've had so much experience doing it that it's just like second nature at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've learned so many things though for dancing for a pro team. But I feel like even not a pro team, like high school drill team, I honestly learned like so much from my high school drill team. It's
Yeah.
not even funny. Like so much just about how to like be, I don't know, like just discipline and responsibility
Yeah.
and not be late, be on
Yeah.
time. Like you just learn so much from being a part of a team, I feel like.
And
in
also,
general.
100%.
Yeah, and also know that, like, talking about the mess ups and all that, the show must go on, okay?
True.
That's, yeah. Period. That's a period. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Just go for it. Like the show must go on. Like I think you said that. Sorry, it's just so funny. You were the only one like standing up and everyone was down. Like
my
it's
mistake
just like
of standing up when everyone was sitting down.
I mean, and that's a pretty big that's a noticeable thing. So
that's not something you can just smooth out in a video. You can just
and she kept going. So that's a I mean, that's something like pretty hard to recover.
I was gonna say there's
just
honestly so much to be said for being able to recover from a mistake. Like that everyone saw it and being able to finish out the performance like nothing happened.
But you gotta move on. Like
you have to learn from those. I feel like the biggest thing though is like
recovery.
How are you going to recover from it? But how moving forward are you going to make sure that never happens again? You know what I mean? But there's so much that goes into it. Like, what is your mental state walking into the game that day or whatever performance? Because, like, your mental state has a huge part of, like, how you perform. Just because, like, if your head's not in the game, dude, like, you're just not going to make it. But it's, again, that's another part is, like, blocking that shit out.
Yeah.
Like, whatever happened before you walked in does not matter.
Correct.
Literally, does not matter. So.
like you said, it's go time.
Yeah, it's go time.
Go for it.
It's go time.
But a good way to practice like that sort of mindfulness is just being in class. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just took off on another tangent. Like if you, but like if you have trouble because it is so important in your performance, you have to be in the right mindset. And if you have trouble like changing your mindset or like just checking yourself at the door, like being in class weekly and being like, this is my time for me. I'm only focusing on this. Like make it a habit. Like you're not thinking about anything else except for being the best performer that you can in that period of time.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like we've talked a lot about like being on a team, but I just want to say like everything that we've talked about, all the advice, all the tips, all the tricks, you can 1000% take into a dance class.
Yeah.
Especially because
100%.
like now these days, if you're not on a team, what is there? Nothing besides dance classes. So use that and challenge yourself. Like she said, like walk into a dance class and be like, everything that I've went through today, I'm leaving at the door. Like this is my time to learn, grow, challenge myself, push myself, throw myself in the center of the group. Do a solo, like whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever the choreographer calls out, hey, 5 people, who wants to come out?
Get out there.
You're out there. Like I've been in LA where the choreographer does that, and I'm not even kidding. I was too scared to go out there, even though like, I wanted to so bad, but I was just way too nervous. But those are the moments where you grow the most.
Yeah.
When you push yourself out of your comfort zone like that.
Now that you mentioned that, I remember the Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we took this masterclass, Aaliyah masterclass, and I remember she said, okay.
Oh, in Houston?
Yeah. Whenever she came here, and she's like, okay, who wants to do a solo?
Oh my God, Val, were you there?
No, I went the second night. I went, but I wasn't there the same night.
I was just
Dude,
like,
I remember Val and I weren't like really friends. Like she came to my class, I knew who she was, and I would like hype her up, but we weren't close.
We weren't as close.
Yeah. And I remember that my heart was. I wanted to go out. Remember,
Did you go?
Yeah.
She called.
I went, and I went like this. I'm like walking like this in my hand. I was shaking, but I'm like, I love you. I need you to see me dancing, and this is what I'm gonna do.
I will say that was a moment like where even I was too scared to go out, and seeing you go out there, I was just like, like that was just a moment where I was like, damn. Because even me, like being a choreographer, being an experienced dancer, like it's still nerve-wracking for me to go out and 100%. Do things like that. But when I saw Val, I was just like, damn, like but that was like so your style too, and like
that's true. That
dance
was
that she did was so you.
It was a Beyonce song, so I was just like, yes, I'm here.
If she says Beyonce one more time, I'm about to go off.
Beyonce.
The same.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap this bitch up.
Amazing.
Thank you, Bailey and Val, for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things. We love you. Peace.
Hey, when it comes to pistol at buzz, issue with trust. Won't let no one.